Greetings, lovely Geminis out there. Thanks for joining me today. We've laid out your Celtic cross. Well, it's a shortened version. And then we'll go through and clarify for you. We'll just talk about this for a little bit first. So we come out today with the beautiful 10, the 10 of Cups, radiant. Look, there's a lot of... there's a lot of bounty here. There's a lot of emotional bathing. You know, you're seeing it around you. It's in your physical world. Of course, when we see the 10s, we know the 10s are like the end of a suit. But here, I just see that that you're really enjoying this. You're appreciating it. It is crossed by the gorgeous Strength card in the Thoth deck. It's called Lust. Of course, this is all about tempering our inner beast, our mind, and not letting it rule the roost, as it were, because. And Geminis, I think probably out of all the signs, you kind of understand the dualities of everything, and that we try and, I think Geminis, we do often try and fit everything into a, plus or minus, what I like, what I don't like. That's our thing, And yet we can see so many different sides to everything as well. I'm not quite sure why I'm going on about that, but obviously the Strength card, we understand aspects possibly that we haven't seen before, or we understand aspects of our unconscious. We're becoming more conscious about certain things. So anyway, let's not sort of dilly-dally. The basis of this reading is wonderful. We get this beautiful ace. It's a gift. It's a divine gift coming down through the crown. We experience this many times over a lifetime. It's just like it can be quite constant. We don't necessarily see it. We're the ones that give this form. I think you're in a really good position, whatever this is for you, because these readings are incredibly general. Whatever this is for you, I do believe that you do see it, and you are, not that you necessarily know how you're going to shape it, to give it form. But it's certainly the basis of this reading is sort of ascertaining. So maybe there's some decisions to be made. At the moment, I don't think, I think the last Gemini reading was not being able to see the whole picture. Of course, we can't see into the future, but not being able to see, and that totally, and that's actually quite a good thing, I think, at this time. But we know we're getting a big love download of sorts, it seems. Anyway, we'll go through and clarify, Gemini. What's behind you? So we get 2 3s. 3s indicate a level of understanding beyond our own idiosyncrasies. We understand in a really on what's the word? Like on quite a deep level. We understand beyond our own ego, right? And from the 3, we understand what this cup can be, this gift, Ace of Cups. We understand what it can also be, this very fluid thing. And what I mean, you'll see. We get the 3 of Cups, a card of wonderful celebration. Speaking of, dualities and the dual nature of Gemini, we get the 3 of Swords coming out with it. So we understand, you know, the celebratory, joyous. This is about enjoying the people around you, you know. Celebration. Wonderful. We get nurtured by this. Excuse me, we get nurtured. And the Three of Swords, we understand. We fully understand what sorrow is and the difference between the two. And sometimes those two things get quite blurry and mixed up. You know, so whatever's going on for you, Gemini, it's an interesting reading, definitely. Now, in the current position, we have the moon. So still, there are certain things that aren't seen. But I do feel in a lot of the readings this week, you know, around the new moon in Cancer, I do feel that by the end of the month, you know, the moon hits, yes, it is about walking through a gate. We don't necessarily know what's on the other side. It is about, you know, those things of which we're not that conscious of. And there's always a glimmer of, I do think, you know, at some point, we know the cyclical nature of the moon. So there's always this point where something is illuminated. I think whatever's going on here for you in this reading will be somewhat illuminated by the end of the month. I say this because moving forward, we get the beautiful Queen, which is you, male or female, is you, Gemini, this beautiful Queen of discernment, of clarity. There is no farting around, you could say, in a crude sense, is just what I hear. There's no mucking around with this gorgeous Queen. You know, temper the cold, slightly hard edges of the Queen, and in her highest polarity, an amazing mind and amazing literally no numeration, no rumination with the Queen. But with the Queen we get, and I love this card, the Knight of Swords. He's moving incredibly quickly. He's taking whatever opportunities he can. This is an opportunistic card, but it's going after what you want. And he's got, you know, she, he, it's not gender here. The eye is on the target here with this gorgeous Knight. So you really, I mean, I do feel, Geminis, there's a thing here that you're really going places, whether it's in a small localized area or whether it's in your own, you know, just altering your boundaries here a wee bit and venturing out, being maybe a little bit more adventurous, spurred on by some really nice kind of juicy, you know, connections and celebrations and all of that. A sort of juicy time. We get the Knight of Wands coming out on the Ace of Cups. This is a very, you know, this could be in terms of matters of the heart. This is a really, well, it is, you know, emotional reading, really. It's all about heart-based stuff. I'm not necessarily talking, I don't really go in for that sort of, you know, romantic kind of love thing. But what I do think about this Knight, and it could be someone coming into your life, Gemini, or someone that's already in it, this character is very impulsive, experimental, charismatic, very magnetizing. So that's interesting. Anyway, I'm looking at, we're interested in the Strength card. on top of the Ten of Cups, please. Just one more, please. Yeah. So with strength, you know, we're tempering the beast that is our mind. We're understanding the difference between our ego and these other things, you know, which can be quite difficult. I mean, we can spend a lifetime doing that. We get the Nine of Cups coming out first. And the Nine of Cups is, I mean, it's a lovely card. You know, are we looking for an extra cup here? The basis of which, you know, this reading is the Ace of Cups, a new cup. There's something about at the moment, Gemini, out there, not limiting yourself too much. There's a thing with the Nine of Cups where, yeah, it is getting to the end of the suit, but it's not so much about that. It's about taking these cups a little bit for granted. I mean, you know where they are and you like to look at them. They're there. But it's kind of like, it always feels to me, the Nine of Cups, that they're just gathering sort of a bit of dust or something. I say that anyway because I do feel like that often about the Nine, even though it's a lovely card and it's sort of self-made, it's independent. You already know in the Eight what it's like to walk away from cups. But I say that because we do get this Eight of Swords, which is literally all about self-limitation. So I think there's an opportunity to sort of to have room to accept some new offerings here. And there is sort of an impulsivity with the Knight coming through. And then, yeah, it's just really interesting. Anyway, let's keep going. We'll look at... so look, there's new things coming in. Let's look at the Three of Cups, please. I think for a lot of the readings this week, there's a general feeling that look, and considering what's happened globally and probably in your own local zone, a change in perspective seems to be a thread that's running through a lot of these readings. So when we're looking at the Three of Cups, the celebratory card, we get the Four. We get another offering. There's something about another offering coming in here. The thing with the Four is that often this other offering doesn't appear in the way that we recognize it. Like you could say, well, it comes out of left of field, it comes, but it's not so much that. It appears often from behind a bush. We often don't recognize it in the way that it's presented to us as an offering. You know what I mean? But I think by the end of the month, you know, when the moon does her thing, as I'm talking here, that great tamarama in the sky will reveal certain things to us, Gemini. With that, and saying that, we get the world, we get the universe. This is a whole new, dare I say it? Yes, I shall. A whole new section of time, a whole new journey for you. And you're doing it in a slightly different way, with quite a different perspective here. When we're moving ahead with the Knight and the Queen. Let's have a look. Oops. at the Queen of Swords, please. Wow. And the Knight of Swords. This wonderful opportunist. It could be quite specific for someone out there, this reading. To clarify the Queen, yeah, you've become you're whatever's going on, Gemini, you've become master of your own kingdom. Master. Magician, you've got all the tools. Maybe this Ace of Cups was just that last thing to spur you on here into this new zone. It's amazing, Gemini. This is you. This is you. And to top it all off with this opportunistic energy of the Knight of Swords with an eye on the target. Look, he's propelled. There's nothing in his way. To clarify that, we get quite a small emotional offering. This could be something that you're offering. It could be something that's coming to you. Now, everything starts small, doesn't it? So we get this little Page of Cups. Everything starts with a seed, dear Gem. And then we get, God, my eyesight's getting so bad. Knight of Pentacles. Solid, reliable, dependable, yes, slow moving, a message of sorts also coming through. So it's all looking pretty amazing. I mean, if this was more of a personal reading, you could get really down to the nitty gritty of this, because I think there's quite a bit of history here in this for you, Gemini. Let's just get a Brian. There's always history and everything, isn't there? Brian Froud, Fairy Oracle. This is really positive reading. Just one card, please. Yeah, there's something about this. Not only, yes, a new cycle. Yes, we're breaking free. You know, this limitation, somewhere in here, there was a limitation. This self-limiting belief. But, release of the shadows, we break free. We break free of any addictions or things that held us back. And we're taking other people with us in this card. There's a great, sorry about the light. There's a great ability for service with this card also. And that when we really break free of our own bondage, you know, I'm just speaking in metaphor, I suppose. You know, often we feel like people will leave us behind, or that somehow there'll be a disconnection, but that's not always the case. Often people silently applaud that. Now, that could be about anything. That's just what I'm getting. There's a beautiful birdie. And we have ecstasies, two becoming one. This could be about relationships. It could be about a reinvigoration of your own relationship. In fact, with yourself, Gemini. So, all in all, we'll get a journey map and a word card. All in all, it's really good, is what I say. Hang on. It's looking really good. There's a lot of review. A lot of these readings are sort of about reviewing and sifting through a lot of those things that have held us back thus far. And it does feel like it's been a really, really long process. With the journey map deck, we get, it's like this reading is almost beyond even your own personal, even beyond, breaking free of your own personal limitations. Or I say it's beyond that, but part of it is that you start to see, you start to recognize, because we get faith, you start to recognize the pathways of light that exist in other people. We all walk the path. We all emanate it. This light. It's the thing that connects us. It's life force, isn't it? And sometimes we just don't see it. But I think Geminis, whatever's going on at the moment, you're really seeing it. And you're feeling it in yourself, and you're seeing it in others. It's really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. Because from that point, when we do recognize it in other people, when we can just sidestep that ego, understand it, we meet others on equal ground. We meet others on equal ground without defense or anything like that. So it's just a really beautiful card. I'll just get one word card for you, Gemini. Comfort and a knowing, and I do feel that trust that, Gems, trust that in a knowing. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you for joining me. Tune in, have a look at, if you know your own chart, have a look at your ascendant moon, Venus and Jupiter. Again, thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing, because it really, really helps me to keep this going. So, fellow gems, ka kite, we'll see you again. Tune in, there's a few more readings coming out over the next few days. So, take good care. Okay, cheery.